Welcome to this introduction video of the Black Dragon Mark II Damascus forge. I'm going to start off with the actual forge chamber. It features a stainless steel logo, Mark II as indicated there, so the Black Dragon logo on it. It's a dual burner forge of the Venturi design. You have got the forge chamber cast out of a high heat refractory cement. This is rated at 1600 degrees Celsius. The opening here is 160 millimeters diameter. You have got accessories for the forge, which by the way ships standard with it, which is the back firewall featuring a 50 millimeter gap, and that gets placed on the inside and actually wedged in there temporarily with the supplied cable. Then you've got your forge chamber insert, and this is predominantly made for when you're doing Damascus, so that you don't damage your forge chamber, and that obviously inserts like that. Then what we have is the plumbing at the back. Many people ask me why this is, and we'll get to that at a later point in the video. You have got the plumbing, which features the gauges, the regulator, the two main cock open valves, primary for the primary burner, secondary at the back, as well as the needle valve. Then coming over to the hosing, these two bull noses will obviously fit onto your LP cylinders, as indicated on the actual regulators, an open and shut position. Now the plumbing of the Black Dragon forge is looks offhand very complicated, but it's actually not. It consists of the two pigtails that go onto your cylinders. You've got two master shuttle valves. You have got a lead and extension valve line exactly 1 meter from your regulator. This is all high pressure. You have got the high pressure regulator. You have got a pressure indicator gauge. You have got the idler valve. Okay, you've got your primary burner. It's currently in the off position or the shut position, and that's your open position. And then your secondary, which there is an open and then in shut. Safety. When it comes to safety with regards to the forge, obviously we're running with sealed plumbing. All of the parts used on the forge are SABS approved. What we need to do is regularly, and I prefer to do this before I run my forge on a daily basis, I would refer to the operating instructions for the leak detection mixture, and I find that a commercial leak detector works very, very well of the spray type. The one that you use or mix with water works tremendously well, because it comes in a spray can, a spray format. You pressurize your system and then spray all the joints everywhere with the leak detector spray, including the ones at the top, and wherever you see bubbles, you would then just tighten the joints. Now, through time, these things do tend to go loose, especially if you travel with the forge. But please do regularly check your system for gas leaks. Our forge ships standard with a material rest that's adjusted by turning this Allen key screw or cap screw. To increase the height of this, what you would need to do, especially if you're using the Damascus insert. Now obviously the forge can be run without it, and as you can see, if you remove the material rest is actually designed for that height. Now should you wish to run your forge permanently with the Damascus insert in place, what you'll need to do is just remove this, obviously loosen this screw, remove this completely, and then as you can see from that indicator there, what you'll need to do is just heat this, straighten it out again, so it does that, and then measure exactly 7 centimeters, and then do this bend again. This rest, material rest, will be a lot higher, and therefore giving you a parallel area to place your material onto. Now to insert the firewall chamber, or the firewall, into your forge chamber, you would insert the forge floor, and then take this, decide on which side out, it doesn't really matter. You would place this in there, making now sure that your firewall, the actual floor, is just lined up at the back, and you'll see that you get around about a 5 millimeter overlap on this here. You would then take your ceramic fiber, take pieces out of this, break it up into smaller cotton balls, and then just literally just shove it and wedge it in here. Now I normally use an old flat screwdriver, and obviously you want to get this as even as possible, therefore using smaller pieces. It doesn't really matter for it to look very neat, because you'll be finishing this off as you go along, just by taking a screwdriver, stuffing it in there. But the most important part here is to get as much K-wool in there, and obviously you're going to be putting it in from this side as well as from the inside, the outside of the forge as well as the inside of the forge. And by shoving this in, what you're doing, and I'm obviously not going to complete this, what you'll be creating is you'll actually seal the firewall temporarily in place. And by moving the firewall into the inside of the forge or to the outside of the forge, or completely removing it, this gives you the flexibility with the forge to either go and do large pieces of Damascus, or just, now, as mentioned earlier, I use a screwdriver, a flat screwdriver, just to shove the K-wool in there and making sure that this is seated properly. Now another thing you can do, and obviously the K-wool is there because I don't know, as the manufacturer of the forge, I don't know whether you actually want your firewall be placed in there permanently, whether you want a perfect solid firewall, also available from the same person that you bought, or the establisher that you bought the forge from. Solid firewalls, one with a 50mm insert there, or vent hole. This is also a through hole. What I mean by that is if you're using large pieces of Damascus, you can obviously run it right through your entire forge. Now just a note on alignment here. What you want to do is the actual insert chamber or floor that you've got on the inside of your forge needs to align round about horizontally with the bottom of this little hole here. So just to recap, the bottom of this hole lines up to the insert floor that you've just added. Now to finish off the K-wool, literally just go around the chamber. This is now inside and outside, just by shoving in the K-wool, and this creates a very, very tight seal. Well then, firewall has been inserted. As you can see, it's done very neatly, both the outside as well as the inside of the forge, and securing that firewall in place. Now you'll see from the amount of K-wool that you have got left, basically you'll be able to refit this firewall. For whatever reason you want to remove it, you're doing a large piece of Damascus, a large piece of forging, you want to forge 4 guys at the same forge.